I got notes. You know, that means serious stuff. Alright, hello lovely peoples of the internet. Recently I wanted to try to figure out why people are against the feminist movement and what they dislike about the feminist title. And when I was looking through posts that people put about why they were against feminism and why they didn't consider themselves feminist, I stumbled upon this one article by the woman Anna Seneff. I think that's the name. Seneff? S-E-N-N-E-F-F. Who knows? And she has an article called 15 Reasons Why I'm Not a Feminist. I want to address some of these reasons because at the bottom of the article she said, hey, disagree, let me know. And also because I have seen such a big trend with the reasons she put in her article on why she's not a feminist with other articles I've read and other people I've talked to. So her number one reason, and the number one reason that I hear all over on why people are against feminism, is because men have problems too. It's either phrase something like, I'm not a feminist because men have issues too, or I'm not a feminist, I'm for gender equality. I'm also for gender equality. That's great if y'all were on the same page here then. There are a couple things I'd like to say about that. Yes, men suffer a lot from the patriarchy. Who knew? The patriarchy also goes against men as well. Actually, if you're interested in that topic, there is this amazing documentary by, one second, let me check my notes, Jackson Katz. And it's called Tough Guys, but guys spelled G-U-I-S-E, and then in parentheses, Men, Violence, and the Crisis in Masculinity. And it is an amazing documentary, how masculinity is portrayed in the media, and how manliness and toughness is portrayed in the media, and basically all the negative consequences of that. This documentary, Tough Guys, was done in 1999. I know a lot of you guys probably weren't even born then, but it's still a really good movie, and the crazy part is that it is so still relevant to this day. Besides the camera quality, it could have been made present time, and you would not be able to tell the difference, which is kind of sad. It's an amazing documentary though, so I definitely recommend you check it out if you're interested in the topic of masculinity and the troubles that masculinity has on men. Especially if you aren't, then I think it would be a really great experience to learn about a new subject that is prevalent in everyone's life. So, Tough Guys, check out that documentary. So now you may be saying, well Leia, if there's a lot of trouble that men have and a lot of trouble that women have through the same social structure, then why do you call it feminism and not gender equality? The problem with refusing to call it feminism and only calling it gender equality is the fact that by not saying feminism, you are not recognizing the historical and systematic oppression on women. And there's a lot of it, and we need to recognize it to make change. Number two, because I don't want to identify with a cause that has built its foundation on the idea that as a woman, I am a victim. Honey, I hate to break it to you, but we live in a patriarchal society. But this can change. It doesn't only disadvantage us, it disadvantages men, it disadvantages transgendered people, people who don't affiliate with a gender, it disadvantages humans. And even animals, because we project our view of gender onto everything. We even personify items with our ideas of gender. Ever heard of the pink tax? So the simple thing is, if you don't want to be a victim as a woman, then don't go against the feminist movement. Actually, I could take that a step further and say if you don't want to be a victim as a person, then don't go against the feminist movement. Because like I said before, the patriarchy does not only attack and harm females. Now, what is the patriarchy, Leia? Because you've been saying this word a lot. And it's only been like 2 minutes in this video. There are a couple different definitions of the patriarchy, but one definition that I love the best is actually from another YouTuber, Hannah Witten. She is a British YouTuber that does a lot of YouTubes on sex and gender, and you can check out her channel in the links below. And recently I saw her do a collab with Dodie on Dodie's second channel, and they're just answering questions about feminism, and the question brought up, what is the patriarchy? And Hannah's response was, systematic cultural ideas we have in society that value masculine tendencies and characteristics over feminine tendencies and characteristics. And I think that is really spot on. For a fourth reason for not wanting to be a feminist, I don't think trivial things like catcalling and slut-shaming should be considered legitimate issues. Now, I want to do a video on slut-shaming for a long time, so I'm going to save that part for a different video. But let's just focus on the catcalling part, because this is a big thing that a lot of people have trouble with. A lot of people think and say that catcalling isn't an issue, and that people are just being irrational and overreacting about this problem of catcalling, because really, you know, catcalling is just a compliment or a friendly way to greet someone and say hi. They're just joking. Don't take it seriously. You're being way too uptight. Let me just tell you that's not true. Now, why is that not true? A lot of you are pretty familiar probably with this YouTube video of this woman who walked down the New York streets for 10 hours and filmed all the catcalls and whistles and just remarks she got from people as she just simply walked by. Very famous video. I can link that in the description as well. Well, this another woman, Danielle Page, did an article on a response to that video. I'm a little bit in love with this article. I'll also link that in the description link below. I'm doing a lot of links for y'all. But what Daniela basically did is she decided she was going to confront the men who catcalled her. Because, I mean, they're just being friendly, right? They just want to say hi. And it's a really long article, but basically, she got two different responses. One is where they were just stunned and simply ignored her. Or two, they got angry with her. She marked down a bunch of times when she would walk up to a man who was catcalling her and he would simply yell in her face, "Leave!" Catcalling is not an invitation to chat someone up when more than half of the people who do it yell at the victim to leave if they confront them. To summarize just her experience with this kind of exercise, I'll quote her at the end of the article. She said, "These men are not looking for a response or expecting you to actually talk to them. In fact, why catcalling is such an actual problem and should be taken legitimately seriously is turning words like beautiful and gorgeous into threats and degrading comments. And in general, just makes people feel uneasy, uncomfortable, and objectified, which is a legitimate issue. Overall, catcalling is not a compliment or a friendly conversational starter. It is a way to show dominance and to oppress another person. Men who catcall aren't power-thirsty creatures. The majority of men that do it are bored. So that's a problem that we need to address because of a patriarchy. What's the definition of patriarchy? We have somehow made it socially acceptable to be casual, so a case where even someone's just bored and trying to buy up 5 minutes of their time will now oppress and degrade another person. And I personally see something very, very wrong with that. Oh wow, yeah, that's all I have today. In the description below is links to all the documentaries, all the articles I mentioned, so definitely feel free to go check those out and leave in the comments if you have any follow-up questions. I covered such a little bit of feminism that I would love to discuss more and make a part 2 to this video. So let me know if you want that, and if I do make it, please let me know what parts of feminism and what parts of gender and sexuality you want me to talk about, because I love talking about this stuff, and if you want to hear it, I will be more than glad to make it for you. We do have control on how this turns out, and we do have control over our actions. So, take that power in your hands. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! To end the mood light, here's a puppy.